So, Will, just about the Oregon State offense. I mean, I know they give you the kind of impression they don't run that much and more about the passing, but what do you see on film? I mean, are they pretty balanced?
Yeah, they're real balanced. You know, they're balanced because their lead run plays, the lead draw, you know, is kind of uncommon for a team to have the lead run as a lead draw, but you know, they're number one passing offense in the pack, but they will run the ball though, and we know from last year they ran the ball on us last year, so you know our main number one goal again this year, stop the run. We stop the run, we get on the pass, and we'll see. We got one of the best defenses in the pack. They got one of the best offenses.
When you had that film session on Sunday, was it kind of rough? I mean, compared to like, you know, Notre Dame and Stanford losses, seeing all the mistakes the defense made?
No, not really. You know, you're talking about the Utah game?
Utah game.
Yeah, no. We did our job. We did they're on scholarship too. You know, they made some good plays, and you know, we didn't have too many misalignments or misassignments. You know, they just played hard. You know, we just played a real good game on defense. You know, offense took a little slow start to get out, but you know, we kept going. We played tough, and sooner or later they got it going.
I know that you don't really like to talk about stats, but the past, I guess, the 3 games haven't really good for you for that way. Do you feel like you're getting a rhythm?
Shoot, I don't know. You know, I'm just going out there. You know, it's just getting, you know, end of the year. You know, it's my senior year, so you know it's starting to hit home. So you want to go out there and just, you know, try to make every single play you can, because you know we only got 3 more games left in the season, and you know, and it went by fast.
Coach talks about handling success. You guys get down to this part of the year, really critical stretch. How do you kind of keep it within one game, not start looking ahead to, you know, we're going to play at this road game or a rivalry game or, you know, Pac-12 title? How do you keep it focused on needing to get the one?
Easy. We just think about who we're playing this week. You know, it's not hard. You know, we're studying for Oregon State, and that's who we're thinking about. You know, Oregon State's the team in our way to, you know, to stop us from what we're trying to reach, and so we're only thinking about Oregon State.
How about the way you guys are winning games, you know, on the road and then close games, coming through when you need to, executing down the stretch? What's that do for your confidence?
Gives us great confidence. You know, we're a good team. You know, we're better than what we were last year. You know, we're more disciplined. We know we're second year in the defense, so you know, more comfortable playing. So we're playing as hard as we can. We're not playing. You know, guys aren't there trying to not to mess up. The guys are going out there just playing.
In that vein, Will, what does the way you won at Utah do for this team's confidence? On the road, trailing in the 4th quarter to make big plays like you did.
It just proves that we still got, you know, it does a lot to our defense, because, you know, it says that, you know, we're a real good team, you know. We play defense, and defense is what's going to win us a championship, you know. So it just tells us that we got a real good team.
Can these kind of wins become contagious, where you start to believe you guys are going to make a play when you need to?
Probably. You know, we just have to take it day by day, you know, go out there and just, we can't, you know, harp on a win, you know. Utah's done with, you know. Once we watch film on Sunday and watch our corrections, it's over with. We're on to the next.
What gives you greater pleasure, the sacks, the tackles for loss, or the first career interception to preserve a ball game like that?
Man, a win.
Yeah.
A win, you know, it's just, I never thought we'd be in a game to where we win by 1 point, you know. It's like baseball score or something, you know. So it's just, we came out with a win, you know. That's what gives me my, you know, happiness and stuff.
That interception, what went through you? What kind of charge did you get out of that?
Shoot, I didn't even know I caught it, to tell you the truth. But, you know, it was a great feeling because, you know, because of that play, we won the game, you know what I mean? They would have probably had a first down on that play, but, you know, because of that, we won the game.
You didn't know you caught it?
At first, no. And I just look and the ball's in my hand, so it's like, shoot, all right, we won.